Yeah, that looks correct.
There we go. Dormiens versus Teto. It is Teto's first time. It is Dormien's third time. Um, both decently strong players. Teto beat Teemo Star who was considered to be one of the strongest new players in Alien Hominid PDA games. Look through their thing.
Yeah.
Dormiens beat Billy Fast Fruit Man and Billy's Blockbuster, a game you subbed about math and Sokoban.
It's better than Mahjong and Sakuban. That's my opinion as playing.
Beat Maurice just by a hair in Dragon Valor, beat him up for the PlayStation with swords and sorcery. Lost to Andy in Stargrove Scramble, I guess you could call it a Yoshi's Island style game, but it didn't play exactly like that, but it was similar. Very cute and very well polished. Teto beat Sephiroth Shadow in Rely Scraper. I think that's the one we couldn't rebroadcast because one of them didn't have VODs, but did beat that race. Got a pretty good time there. Lost to El Cheeseboy in Lock and Chase, kind of a Pac-Man style game on the Game Boy. Beat Mew in Yo-Yo's Puzzle Park, a single-screen puzzle game where like Bubble Bobble, where you pick up enemies and throw them at each other. Beat Nakarashi in Bit of War, a 8-bit rendition of the canceled plot of God of War 3. I remember it was a pretty significant win. And then beat Teemo just with like a crazy comeback in Alien Hominid PDA games. Level 100, that was an endurance race for sure.
These guys are bracket busters, unless you happen to know Teto from something else. No real reason to expect them to come this far and be this strong, at least if you're just looking at the stats. And Dormiens hasn't played that many matches, has gone through the winner's side, but a win against Maurice is always going to be at the top of your list of kills. So, it's interesting to see, and this is to get quite far into the winner's side. Or no, they're both losers now, but like we're playing for big money here.
Yeah, we've got a game that will it's gonna be about these players playing well. It's not gonna push their skills to the limit like the last one did. It's gonna be about optimizing your play. This game has been in the pool since day one. At the top of the list. I've been seeing it every time I go to pull a game, and it has not gotten pulled until today.
Makes me curious. Was it one of the first submissions, or does it just start with A?
They're in the pool by order of the first ones were order of submission list. So yeah, it was one of the first submissions.
That makes sense.
And it is a sort of storied MT genre, which we have not seen as much this year, but which is licensed GBA games.
Yeah, I mean, the reality with licensed GBA games is if it's raceable, we've raced it. They're mostly going to be backups here as we go through the 17th iteration, or like resubmissions. But they are a classic, and if you're not capable with dealing with enemies that you can run by and not care about, you're gonna struggle in Mystery Tournament and going far. And that's, I think, the core thing that I think of when I think of these like unlicensed GBA games, other than you get to see Scooby-Doo or whoever.
Yes, that was quite a game. So yeah, I tested this, but I mean, it was one of the first subs, and it was one of the first games I tested, and so I don't remember much about it. So I'm looking forward to seeing it played. Shouldn't be too long here.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing with licensed GBA games. They're generally forgettable. Good races. I consistently think that these are great races, but I could not tell you much, even about things like Scooby-Doo, which I just mentioned. Like, I couldn't tell you what the hardest thing was in that race.
Yeah, it's it's gonna be a good time. This is beat the game. There's a thing with licensed GBA games, and there was just like, it's when they really went the hardest in licensed games in history. They just like, there was a lot on a lot of other consoles, but it was a little harder to make a game. You had to like actually have somewhat of an idea what you were doing to make like a SNES game at that time. But the GBA, it was a little bit more modern, a little bit easier. And GBA and the DS, they just went hard. They licensed every possible thing they could. Doesn't matter who was making it. If there was a console game, there'd be a GBA game, it'd be a totally different one. And a lot of them are just short. So we're beating the game here. You know, imagine going to the store with your mom, going to GameStop and buying this, and then it's a 45-minute game or whatever. You know, it's not ideal.
I was on an airplane playing games, and my sister, my Switch ran out of battery, so I was playing at my sister's, and I gifted her Donut County. And the idea of this game, I was like, I knew it was quite quick to race, but then I just beat it in, I want to say like an hour or something.
Yeah, it's not a very long game.
You bought me an hour-long game, and I'm like, you haven't played it yet? It's
Yeah, I wished I liked Donut County, but that was usually when I play a game like that, I'm like, all right, you know, they did a whole lot. Like Gorogoa was one where I was like, it's short, but like clearly they took the time, you know, so it was fine with me. But I do wish Donut County was a little longer. I think they could have expanded it a little bit. But I do like the game.
Sets them up for Donut County too. No, if anybody from Wallerbridge chat, I was also playing Jelly Car. I decided to, on my 8-hour flight, that trying to beat games was too much, but oh goodness, Ice
Age. We've got it, it's Ice Age, folks. You remember Sid the John Leguizamo and Ray Romano the Mammoth and somebody the Saber-tooth. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, there's some submitters who go by reputation. Shrambles was our last submitter, and I know a Shrambles game is going to be good. I'm excited. Based on previous experience, every game that Fast Fruitman has submitted has been something I've really enjoyed. And that the fact that this is Ice Age, I'm really hoping that we go between characters and it's not just as us as the squirrel. Because I want to see what every single character in Ice Age.
Dennis Leary was the tiger? Oh my gosh.
There was a tiger in this movie? Oh goodness.
Yeah, it's a saber-tooth tiger. He's like, I don't like these people, and they sing that song by Rusted Root. I barely remember anything about Ice Age. It was a phenomenon for a while, but I mean, yeah, we've got some good GBA screenshots of the movie. All right, here we go.
Okay, we're starting off with the mammoth. Looks like we might not have. Now we have a jump.
On my way. Yeah, you got it. You got it in the chat. Let me get the paste bin here.
Okay, we're who needs the paste bin? We're being taught how to play the game as we go through it, anyways.
Yeah. Pretty simple. A to jump, A in the air to slam, B to attack. Taking damage loses you an acorn. In normal levels, taking damage with 0 acorns or falling into a pit puts you back to the start of the screen. In auto-scrollers, dying with 0 acorns makes you restart the level. Falling behind the screen kills you in auto-scrollers. And then that's it. We got Ice Age. We're on my way, as they say.
Okay, Dormiens is making this look hard, and I don't believe it is. So what are we doing?
Well, it really just kind of depends, because your health is plentiful. It's all, and you can collect those acorns. You can get a lot of them. Okay, so they've used the shoot button. Looks like they're tied up right now. Teto pulling ahead a little bit, but look at these moves. Blind jumps, but making them with confidence. You have 5 acorns. You might as well. There's a saber-toothed tiger, but not the one who has a character.
These games.
If you hit a skunk, you float for a little bit because it's so stinky.
As you do in real life, of
Yeah,
course.
exactly. It works, but it's like really unpleasant, so most people don't do it. But
GBA games make me feel like good game design happened, where they're actually made for kids. Like this game is going to be beatable by a 10-year-old back in the day.
Yeah, it's very forgiving. There's no lives. Okay, so you got to shoot that guy. It's like a puzzle platformer. You need the big walnut in order to shoot the wildebeest into the hole.
These dodos are so funny. I don't know why. I think it's not even these dodos. Just dodos are so funny.
It's very true. I don't even know if the squirrel makes an appearance in this game.
That's very sad because he is the character that
it's true.
They understood was the best character.
The mascot of the franchise. So I think you play as Sid, the what is he? Is he a sloth? I guess. I think you play as him during the auto scrollers. But again, this was a long time. Okay, so you got to kill this guy. Do you slam him? No. Oh, yes, you do. But you can only slam him once. When he's spinning around, he's invincible. Teto picking up on that very quickly. Oh no, you went for the slam too far away, got greedy. The Icarus system, as I like to say.
This health bar is interesting that it's literally like you can just see it's 5 pieces.
Yeah.
I'd usually ask for other games to do this too, but the way that they've done it looks funny to me.
Yeah. Well, they've ripped some assets from Bejeweled or something, but under normal circumstances, we do like to see boss health bars. Dormiens having a little bit harder of a time.
Yeah, mammoths can't swim. That's famous. It's like elephants.
Yeah, the trunks they're just kind of there. So here, oh darn, yeah, your hitbox is big. You got to watch out for your hitbox. The kid jumped off the back. I think that was just an idle animation, but it was kind of interesting. The first Ice Age movie, the plot involves escorting this child who's lost. Oh man, Teto going for the blind jump.
Yeah, and they all argue about how to do it, and the sloth is stupid, and they all get mad at him, and the squirrel likes nuts.
Squirrel likes nuts, yeah, that's the most memorable part, probably.
I feel like he had a whole movie to himself, or it might be one of those shorts.
Definitely had some shorts, but the thing about Ice Age, which is a little surprising, is that there's actually, like 6 of them. So they just kept going.
I mean, we've had 6 Ice Ages, right? So, fair enough.
Yeah. Teto needs to destroy the blocks by the time the thing gets here, having no trouble there. Ooh, okay. Going to attack them. I think I opted to jump on these guys, but the attack, just because the attack is so ambiguous where the hitbox actually is.
Yeah, this game is giving more trouble than it really should, because they know how, like, infinite lives they have, but, like, things like the water are just sending them back, and they're just losing a lot of time to very small and, like, silly things. So, and it's a really hard balance between, you can just go as fast as you want, but you also can't go, and you have to play the game as slowly as possible, because, like, what are you supposed to do here? We're just auto-scrolling.
So, one thing that I think this game has, which if either player maybe has speedrunning experience, they might know, but I think you always get knocked back the direction opposite which you're facing. So if you jump into an enemy and turn around, you can actually use damage boost to, like, go through these levels a lot quicker. And by the end, I was doing that, but I don't know how quickly they're going to pick up on it, or if they're going to think it's worth the risk, because you have so many acorns. You only lose 1 per hit.
In your mind, what's the game you most associate that with?
Castlevania,
Yeah.
I would say. You can do it in Super Metroid, but like those are weird damage boosts. They're like actually boosts that send you faster than your normal walking speed.
Yeah, like yet again, just on Dormian screen, like this Dodo giving us trouble. Because there's just pits and water in places, like it ends up just being like an annoying amount of time loss. You're not just getting knocked back.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I thought Teto was gonna go through the wall there. I was ready for it, but unfortunately, we played a game. Last year was the year of many DS games, and we played Wreck-It Ralph on the Nintendo DS. And
Claim for that?
what?
Who was the one who was submitting all the DS games?
Hopscotch. Hopscotch submitted, went through the whole library as far as I can tell, at least a lot of it, and submitted Wreck-It Ralph, which was fun, but we saw some out of bounds in that, which was a good time.
Okay, I'll give you my favorite trivia question. It's just a yes or no question. Was Bad Guy in Wreck-It Ralph 1? Or just Wreck-It Ralph? Like the
Who?
song Bad Guy by Billie Eilish is Bad Guy.
Oh, in Wreck-It Ralph 1? That would be too old.
So then, corollary, do you think it was in Wreck-It Ralph 2? Do you think they've, in your mind, do you think that they've done the incredibly on-the-nose, I'm a bad guy?
I guess that would be right about the right time for it. I remember when that movie came out, I remember everyone saying it was really cringy, but I don't remember. I feel like that might be too old too. Maybe I'm wrong. It must be in Wreck-It Ralph 2, or you wouldn't be asking.
That's the thing is, I feel like it's one of those like Mandela effects, where everybody just naturally would assume it feels like they would be. We're in a boss level, by the way, on Tito's screen.
Yeah, and
we
getting
have 15
this
lives, the boss has
pretty
2,
much
so
first try. You just need to shoot these little guys when they pop up. They do pop up really fast, though. Your timing needs to be good. Let it a little bit too early on that one.
What is this enemy? Just is it one big snake, or is it like a kraken that has a bunch of like snaky like arms?
Some sort of Hydra? Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, because Hydras existed in the Ice Age for sure.
Well, I don't know if Krakens did either.
Yeah.
But yeah, Omega number, I think in a game like this, it's fairly easy. You can tell because they give you so much health. Oh yeah, here we go. We're auto-scroller Sid.
I'm gonna be mad if all of Sid is auto-scrollers.
I'm pretty sure that's what it means. When you're Sid, you're in an auto-scroller. Teto has an attack, but is just running into these things anyway. Who needs it? And unfortunately, unlike whatever the name of that farting game is, I always forget. Oh no.
Oh.
That's a huge time loss.
The game just gave us a knowledge check and Teto failed it.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately you can't move this auto-scroller along any faster than it's already moving. They're being smart staying to the front, though, so you can actually make this happen.
Yeah, in auto-scrollers...
oh, it stayed half broken.
Oh, that's... game design.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder... So, let's see if Dormiens can get through this the first try.
Yeah, my instinct in the auto-scroller is to be like 2/3 back, so you have enough time to react to anything that shows up on screen.
Nice, Dormiens making it through.
Punish
That's
Teto.
man. You can't say, "Oh no, Ice Age, you submitted this game." This is like Anosept saying Sokoban detected the initial meme when it was a game they subbed. It's like, what do you mean? You know what this is. This game has been in the pool like for so long. It's been at the very top of the list, and it's just sitting there. It's Ice Age, and every time I see it, I'm like, who's gonna play Ice Age? Here we are.
Man, was this a game of your childhood? I'd love to know, because if you went and searched out for Ice Age just to submit to MT, that's a slightly less honorable thing than I played this as a kid and I thought it was cool.
I've submitted a few childhood games. Sometimes they do pretty well. We played a Speedy Gonzales game one year that I had. It's so sad. Okay, reconnection successful. We're back. I lost
We gotta
internet.
talk about the game because we're in a completely different world. We're out of Sid Auto Scroller Land. And we're back to an even icier Ice Age.
Wow.
Dodos. What are you, my dude? You are round.
So who? I think Teto's still ahead, but not by a whole lot. So yeah, these guys you got to shoot with a walnut and they flip over, and that lets you jump up to the next area.
Dormiens also has to be a responsible adult. They are on 2 acorns currently,
Oh wow.
and like I saw them just turn around and look at an acorn and didn't want it. They've another one there. They're on their last life.
0
They're not-
acorns. Oh no. Not even getting that one? I mean, you just restart the screen. I mean, it's probably not that big of a deal, but still.
I love that the guys are already on their back from last time. It's questionable programming, but it's very funny to me.
Yeah, so these little guys you can flip over just by slamming, but then the big guys you have to shoot with the walnut. The walnuts respawn as soon as you grab them. Like as soon as you move them off screen. And so... Or yeah, not even, I guess right after you shoot them and then after it gives a little bit. But you actually, like, the game design is such that you need to go grab them, like, twice from the same spot. Grab it and shoot it, then go back and grab it again. You only have one walnut at a time. Just like real life.
This looks so much more comfortable. They have more lives. They, I think, are already further ahead.
Oh no!
than-
What is the goal here? You can just stay over here? That's right. I remember this guy now. You're just fine.
Oh, he didn't take damage that time. Oh,
Oh
there
no,
we
he did. He did. It just takes a while. Yes, I think about it.
Am I hurt? It's like a 2-year-old. They have to look up at the parent to find out if you're
Yeah.
you're hurt or not.
Teto is waiting for them to turn around. I don't know if you actually have to do that, but I mean, at this point, why risk it? It takes so long to go back and grab another thing. You might as well just wait.
I haven't looked at the paste bin. Are the passwords
Oh, no.
in the paste bin?
What about the paste bin?
Does the paste bin have the passwords?
No.
We're
I
just
guess it would be
trusted?
good if a game crashed or something. We could look it up if we had to.
Yeah.
We've seen
I always
one
find-
GBA crash in my tenure watching and streaming MT. It's not a very typical console to crash. You can jump with the kid. Is that in the paste bin? No. It's not, but I don't know how necessary it is anyway. That's cool that Teto discovered it. I doubt Fast Fruit Man knew themselves.
These bats are annoying. I'm gonna say really annoying now, but Teto's decided that the best way to approach them is just a lot of damage boosting, and it's potentially cost them. If this level continues going on and there's just more of these annoying bats, they're gonna have to, instead of being able to damage boost, they're gonna have to play incredibly cautiously.
Yeah.
We're off this screen, but like this next screen for Teto, with basically the equivalent of like 2 lives, could be really miserable.
Yeah, I think you can take the I think you can take these guys out with the acorns or the walnuts or whatever they are. And I think you have to. I think there's a stage at some point where you have to strategically destroy these bats in order to get past them.
Yeah, I really like how Teto's approaching it. Like, I mean, I think damage boosting here is just like the way to go, but it intimidates me, and it could be even worse for Dormiens, who likes damage boosting but doesn't like picking up acorns. Not that these ones are particularly out of the way. We're in a cave.
But yeah, so here you have to keep cycling around and getting this acorn, but you could also just kill this group of bats, and you aren't really thinking about it, but you could easily do that, and then it wouldn't really be an issue. But Teto's doing it right anyway. Actually has a pretty significant lead at this point. For a game, I think it would be easy to look at this and say, "Oh, this is just skillless. You just jump around. You just hold right." But like, clearly, better players can still eke out a little bit of time.
Yeah, and we talk about like what the sort of game that we imagine could trip up Andy, and it never happens because he's Andy. But the idea of a platformer like this is the sort of thing that I think of when I think of Andy, where I'm like, cool, there's enemies. Andy doesn't care, and then when they're, because he's now been avoiding the acorns and damage boosting through enemies.
Right.
He needs a moment of skill. He just is Andy. He's fine because he's just gonna be skillful. Obviously, like a hard game also shows off a top player's ability to
For sure.
To be good, but in a game like this, just having utmost confidence that you can go in and destroy it is a large part of what makes someone successful.
Okay, Teto picking up here that I can just destroy those bats. I don't need to worry about jumping over them every time. I'll just destroy them and wait a little tiny bit longer for the... Oh no, it's a third armadillo. Like, why? Why do this 3 times in a row? This is you know... Oh, I see. You're pushing him back. On. Got it. 4 times in a row.
I mean, this is like a sub-boss, but there's no like additional music, there's no fanfare.
Andy's probably pretty good at RTS games, honestly. I can't confirm that, but I have a feeling.
I just read maybe Andy isn't good at Sims, and I went, nah, that dude could get married in a day.
Yeah, I don't know if we could play, I don't know, The Sims and MT. Try and do it, you know. I'm all for the effort, but do what you can.
I do know there's speedruns for like
Sand had a weird, little bit of a weird interaction with that slope there, but it's fine. We're moving.
Like we saw earlier, Teto run into an issue on the auto-scroller. It's a reason why this race is a bit closer than it otherwise would be. And this will be a huge time loss, so we'll find out, like this pit right here. Yeah, we're tied up.
Luckily, the well, no, the
oh no, there's a checkpoint there somewhere.
Yeah, the saber-tooths are checkpoints. They're jumping over them like they're enemies, and like that's fine, but that's technically a checkpoint.
And thankfully, a checkpoint that you don't have to touch, given the jumping over.
Right.
Teto in a better spot here. I mean, obviously further up the level, but also just has acorns. Dormiens is playing with the lives that this level is giving him. It's probably fine. It's not
These falling platforms are a little tough because I think as soon as they start falling, you can't jump anymore. Like, you need to jump off of them before they start to fall. Oh, man, these slopes. I wish this whole level was slopes. That would be a fun level.
You know what this game needed? Ice Age needed ice physics.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is Ice Age. To be fair, it's almost like a little surprising they haven't done it yet.
I'm happy that they're doing it at least first on the auto-scroller
No!
level.
That's a huge...
That was a blind jump. Very rude.
Still ahead, but not by a ton.
Okay, so do you remember the movie? Do we know what the final boss will look like? Or even, do you remember your testing? But I'm
Well,
more asking because
I
I don't
don't.
remember.
First
Sid
of all,
writing
I
for-
don't remember from testing. Second of all, as I remember it, the final boss is kind of just like the idea that everything is very cold. I don't think that there's like a major villain that they have to face off, because the Sabretooth is initially a villain, but then he just like becomes a friend partway through the movie, and so I'm not sure if there really is the final boss. Oh, is maybe the other Sabretooths are like still evil. That could be.
That sounds familiar.
That does sound a little bit familiar.
What's chat saying? Yeah, Fast Fruitman says. Sabretooths. That sounds right. I mean, there's 6 movies, so the issue here is either you don't know enough about Ice Age or you know too much about Ice Age.
I I only saw the one. I think. I mean, I remember seeing the squirrel around, but I think they're a little bit after my time. Although I think Blue Sky, the company that made them, has recently closed its doors. They did what they could to stay afloat, but didn't make enough hits.
This miserable, like, blind jump falling level, and decided to go one further. I think the biggest trick here was, like, the acorns, as just kind of like falling markers.
Yeah.
But everything here is just kind of like...
Well, it's a GBA problem where it's just like you're too big for the screen, so you can't really see anything.
And we decided that the woolly mammoth was the character that we're going to play the whole game, who is always going to be huge. It is always curious with these licensed games because they're kind of limited to the source material. I was talking about it with Pac-Man a couple days ago, where it's like the ghosts just walk around. You have to collect dots, despite the fact that in that particular game, collecting dots was like the worst thing about the game.
You had to collect dots. That was.
But you have to. But it's Pac-Man. Like,
yeah.
You can't make a Pac-Man and not having collect dots. But I'm sure the developer making the game was like, but can I just not do that? And then his boss was like, no, it's Pac-Man. Come on. Dormiens fell for the same trap, by the way. There's bats in the way, and the solution's walnuts, but the solution previously had been falling down, so...
you have to do 2 loops of this level. Because... Okay, so you gotta be careful. Teto down to 3 acorns. This is gonna be a massive time. No! Okay, do they stay dead? Do the bats stay dead? That's what we need to know. And if so, that means a death warp would have been faster in the first place. Yep, the bats do stay dead.
Okay. We're finding Ice Age speed tech that the speedrunners have presumably already found, because I'm sure there's somebody who went, yeah, I'm gonna go speedrun Ice Age.
Probably. Usually there is. That was a good damage boost. Oh, but it was the last acorn. That was a good damage boost. Teto understands the secret child jump strat, getting the acorns.
And then immediately wasting them on this dodo. The dodos are...
Don't do it! You have 0! Oh, he didn't look! He didn't look! Is Dormiens gonna pull ahead?
It would be a big lead change, like...
What was my time on this game?
He's doing it one more time, but this time he has extra health. Teto's
This game took me 44 minutes, so this must not be the end.
I'm not that bad. Like the end. I don't know what the end is going to look like, but we only just got introduced to ice physics, and I feel like we need some lava. Need some Sabretooths.
Did we just get a lead change? Did I miss it?
I do not believe so.
No, we do.
Oh, we did, actually, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, we got 3 bats to get past. We need to kill this dodo. This dodo could not survive.
The dodo might respawn. I know the bats don't. Dodo does respawn, but I think this is the right move. I think maybe you can go under.
we're not in a spot to be damage boosting through this dodo, because when you try and do that, the dodo
Yeah.
hits you like 3 times.
Dormiens is moving on past this screen first, though. This is about a 10-second lead, I would say. Onto the boss.
I like the,
Oh,
hello.
jeez, this dude. Everyone remembers this guy from the movie.
I think I actually do.
It's Steve the eagle. Steve the plucked eagle.
And his little brother.
And its little chicken friend. You could really tell when they had like concept art that they were allowed to like rotoscope off of, because these guys look horrible compared to the main character of this game.
Oh, and the boss has an extra health. We've gone from 5 to 6, which I don't know if that means we're at a later level, or if it's to represent our little bird friend having 1 health.
The eagle looks like he's already been cooked. I don't understand why he looks like this. Okay, both of them having no trouble with the boss. So Dormien's keeping their like about 10-second lead. Taking maybe an intentional death? Nope,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say not.
No. You don't spawn with enough acorns to ever consider doing intentional death. These dodos just juggle you.
Oh, did Dormien's made it through the screen first try.
Yeah,
the
but
lead.
the only time that we're able to like farm up the penguin enemies. My beloved.
You gotta slam, Teto, you gotta slam. Oh, you had it. Yeah.
We are synced up. I mean, when I say synced up, I mean we even have the same amount of lives. Up until Teto went and farmed some acorns. Teto's actually... okay. Wasn't actively trying to farm acorns. This is
yeah, this
becoming an issue.
you know, for like a 10-year-old, this might be more of like a 2-hour road trip than a 45-minute road trip. It depends.
Yeah, I don't know why like companies like Nintendo or Sunsoft didn't realize that kids will just play a game over and over again. I was hanging out with my my second cousin. She's watched Ballerina 10 times, and we were playing the Peppa Pig video game. Don't suggest it, by the way. It's a 2-button game.
It's too bad.
Without a clear finish line, so it's not empty viable. But like the idea that like this game needed to have a finish line or needed to have an objective, no, kids will just play a thing over and over again. They're fine. Every
Well, I know
road
that
trip,
people
like,
caught on. That's why the licensed game thing is we can't do it anymore, because now it's just like mobile games with like microtransactions is where companies go. It's too bad. We don't have a bunch of goofy licensed games anymore. Not that the licenses were so good, but it was just an excuse to make a lot of mid-budget games that like you could actually finish. Somebody paid to make sure that it was playable at the very least.
I like the skunk music. I can imagine a kid not realizing that getting skunked is like a necessary mechanic.
This is huge. Dormiens is losing, Teto is losing a lot of time on this screen. Dormiens is cruising. I did not think this was going to happen. I thought when Teto pulled ahead, that was it. But, like, here we go with the strong lead change. I do like the little animation of him sliding down the slope. That's pretty good.
I think it's like one full screen ahead, basically.
Maybe even more than that. Yeah, probably. Yeah, one full. Yep. Okay.
Because here's our skunk friend, which Teto also immediately understands that the best thing to do is immediately get skunked.
Absolutely. You need the walnut. Oh, but waste it.
This game does understand that nuts are the most important thing about Ice Age. With both our collectibles being
Oh, that's like, I didn't even understand that it was referencing that. That's a good point. But where's the squirrel then? So here you just wait for this thing to spawn 5 times and kill each group of bats. Dormiens saying, what if there's more? I think that that's a smart move. It might not come to pass, but...
It's so ridiculous that these dodos are incredibly more threatening than the bear. Or is it even a bear? It might be a large beaver.
Oh, the round thing? Yeah,
Yeah, I assumed it was a sleeping bear, and the reason it was sleeping is so it wasn't scary to kids.
I thought it was
But
like a weird round thing. You could be right. Okay, so this is actually kind of challenging. You gotta jump a lot because these platforms are not very forgiving.
Good thing that the thing that the game is asking us to do is the thing that our players like doing anyways.
Absolutely. Oh,
This is...
can you make that? Oh, just barely. Secret level. Yeah, these are called secret levels. I don't know why. They're just levels. You gotta play them.
Well, if they're called bonus levels, then your instinct is just to jump in a pit and end the level immediately.
Yeah.
This is a secret level. We know that we probably still do it to the end. But it
We've got
also has better music.
Sand auto scroller. I don't know if you remember in the movie when he turned into the Tasmanian devil.
That enemy was so mean. Okay. Dormiens is like these auto scrollers can be acorn farms, right? Because there's nothing to do other than collect acorns when you're waiting around. But Dormiens is trying to do it with no acorns, and now has to do these like sick dodo jumps. Blind, yeah, it's all miserable. But
Making it happen though. Getting to the checkpoint, which is good.
Checkpoint and has acorns now. He should be fine.
Yeah. I mean, the pit deaths are ignoring number of acorns you have, so you still can't fall in the pits. There's no way to know what that platform does. Well, no, I guess there was one earlier, so you gotta pay attention, I guess. But where was I going? Oh, in a lot of games you can hold down and it'll scroll the screen down in like Game Boy games. But first of all, I don't think you can do that in this game. Oh man, got killed by the edge of the screen, by the dude pushing him into the edge of the screen. But also, I don't think you could do that on the auto scroller. So you just have to take these blind.
And I do on the same level, and I think that might be the same checkpoint. Like, we're in a very close race, and with a game like this, there's gonna be a boss level at the end, because there was a boss level in the movie, and it's either gonna be really easy, or, like, the hardest part of the game. This music is...
It's
really
like the
good.
start of the Toy Box music from Paper Mario, but then it just never really gets going. So it just sort of starts and then...
It's the best music we've had in the game. It also desperately wants us to get off this level.
Yeah. There's a lava auto-scroller in the Aladdin game on the SNES, and I like it a lot more than this one.
The one that we had this mystery tournament?
No, I don't think we have the SNES version, this mystery tournament. But it is very good. I recommend... Because there's like three different Aladdin games that are by 3 different devs, so they're totally different games.
That sounds like a good, shuffler, as we shuffle between 3
It's a really
different
interesting
devs
idea.
Aladdin
It's
games.
several different systems, but if you can do that...
You can.
Oh, man.
I was doing Pokemon Shuffler with like all the different systems, so you definitely could. And games like this are the sort of thing where there's like slight mazes, but not enough that you feel like coming back to it a few minutes later. It sounds like a reasonable effort. I mean, the main problem is the games are like a perfect length for racing anyways, so doing 2 of them at the same time is like just a bit too much racing.
It'd be cool to get a good shuffler thing going. I mean, it's difficult to find something that works well blind, but some things do. Anyways, oh yeah, this part is hard.
Relatively or actually?
Well, relatively. If it's just hard because if you go up to the dude, like, and you don't have the walnut, you're dead because you can't jump back. Man, they're so. Oh no! They were so close. That death could decide this race right here.
Yeah, and it's such a painful thing because every time that you die in this race, you're as a racer, you gotta go, I am a goon. I am about to lose this race because I keep on making these small mistakes.
Yeah, Teto did
And
it
then-
a second time, which is especially disheartening. What Dormiens is trying to do is keep some of these falling platforms for the way back, which is, it looks like it worked.
Neither of these guys have any health. Dormiens now has 3. Teto's on his last. I don't think there's much here after this guy.
So the interesting thing about this is, like, you could kill these bats. But I guess who needs to?
Dormien's going with the executive decision to not grab that walnut. We'll see if that's going to come back.
I don't think they carry over between screens, so it looks like it's fine. Ooh, wouldn't have lost 3 acorns, but at least made it through.
But Dormien's completely rewarded. So we saw them earlier. They were avoiding grabbing some acorns.
No! Teto died. Does he have to fight the boss again? He does! He died to the bats!
Oh. That's miserable. The we saw Dormien's earlier avoiding acorns. He used the kid jump, the secret tech, to grab an extra acorn, and then took 3 hits, went to his last life on the bats. If he hadn't done the kid jump to collect the acorn,
Oh, yeah.
he would not have been able to pass.
That means they both know the secret kid jump tech. I wonder what button it is. Maybe it's L or R or something. I never did it.
Jump button, because it might be up. If jump isn't already up.
Maybe it's even in the paste bin and I just read it poorly. Oh, it's the triggers, okay.
Yeah, both these players, when they were going through the tutorial level and the game was teaching them the buttons, were just mashing all
Dormiens
the
did that
buttons too,
entire
so.
stage with 0 acorns, and there was a lot of obstacles. Pretty impressive.
This is gonna be secret kid tech jump time because nothing better to do while we're waiting for these bats to stop being as batty.
Yeah, they saw it too. Good call.
Ow. Our hitbox is so huge. Why are
Yeah.
we the mammoth? Please let us play as Sid.
Sid does auto scrollers exclusively, and Sabretooth sits in the background and is a checkpoint. They couldn't. 3 different characters was a bit much for this dev team.
The heavy boss coming up energy. There's so many acorns.
Oh, here we are.
Yeah.
Sabretooth. Yeah, but look at that health.
This is my best guess. I would be playing this like it's the final boss. I'm not sure that changes how you play it, but
Oh, did he get it? Did he get that walnut? He did, right as it spawned. Yeah, this is, I think, the final boss.
I think this is gonna be a race because it looks like Dormiens has just immediately understood. Not that there was much to understand, but what needed to be done.
Yeah, this was a good comeback. This game had enough challenge to mean that making mistakes costs time, and I think that that's probably it. Let's see if we... Great, is there more?
Dormiens stopping on the screen like it's done.
Yeah, hasn't got done yet, but... Oh, maybe they have. I'm not in this room anymore. That's right, because I lost internet. Did they dot done? Somebody else has to tell me.
Myth says GG.
Got
I
it.
also don't.
Yeah, I mean, this is... I think this is the end of the game. I just...
Well, you updated the paste bin, right?
No.
You did actually. Yeah, final hit on the tiger in level 10.
Got
You
it,
got
got
it.
it.
Okay, now we're learning. I forgot how cute this kid is. Because
41.
he wasn't in this game. He was 5 pixels in this game.
Yeah. 41, 49. What a time. What a match.
Level 10, perfect.
And then is that Teto completed it himself?
Yeah, look, Teto's done too.
Man, close, very close.
Yeah, and I mean, shoutouts to Fast Menace Submitter. This is the lovely thing about these GBA made for kid games, is they're genuinely going to be, or generally and genuinely, are going to be these close races, and it's true again. Fantastic stuff from both our racers, but it's really just not falling in pits right at the end of the level.
Yeah.
That's a
And what's good
classic.
about this game is it's not like there's not too much navigate, like you can't just like take a wrong turn and then because the game is so easy you only lose like 10 seconds and lose the race because of that, because it's all pretty straightforward. Here's Teto waiting in for the interview. Hello.
Hey, GG's.
GG. I don't know. Dormiens is not in here yet, but we've got we got a give game. First Captain Drake. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Yeah,
Cone Noob can do
that's
the
huge.
interview because I gotta.
I can do the interview.
mystery.
So, first question, Teto. Have you seen Ice Age?
To be honest, I skipped all the movies. Dormiens is coming up.
Dormian, same question.
Hey, Dormiens.
GG's. Have you seen
GG's.
Ice Age?
I have seen Ice Age.
That's why you won, clearly.
Clearly,
Now you guys
the
both
lore really helped me.
you guys were both doing well. It was interesting to see where the time loss was coming from because it was all this like small stuff. Were you guys having a lot of fun, or were these small things getting to you? Was there any amount of like frustration, even if minor?
Didn't get frustrated, but I wasn't having fun. It was not a fun game.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, except for some of the enemy hitboxes. They turned me up a few times. Like, yeah, why can't I go through those? Oh yeah, I have to get this power nut and go back and forth like 10 times, and oh, this got me especially in the semi last level right now.
From watching it, it looked like the dodos could have been the hardest enemy in the game, and they showed up in level 1. Was that actually the case, or did you guys have other
Yeah,
things?
they were a pain. Their hitbox is just like a little bit too high, or you can't jump on them well, and so it's a pain.
Yeah, you can jump on them in a few occasions, but on the next level, it's like, yeah, those are too high. You can't reach them anymore. Like, you're missing some kind of double jump mechanic.
Yeah, I asked about the movie. At no point did you play as the squirrel, who I should definitely know the name of. But you were collecting nuts. Genuinely really have no clue what was going on in this game, but the thing that I found really interesting, you guys were both happy to damage boost or just kind of go quickly and end up taking damage. But you had these moments where you're coming down to 0 acorns, one acorn, like these low life mechanics, and I think we saw some real good clutch outs from Dormians. I think that might honestly have been the difference in the race is just the number of clutch outs when you had these low life. But uh, how are you guys approaching the situations where like you saw an acorn and it looked like 2 seconds of time lost to go pick it up? What were your thought processes?
The only time I went to pick up something when like an acorn out of the way was when I was like 1 or 2. Otherwise, I figured I could just damage boost through things.
It was an up and down. There were a few levels which got really clearly good, and you just could walk through those. And the next level, you wasted like 10 acorns on the first 2 enemies, and pretty quickly down low to 1 or 2. And in this case, it's like, yeah, maybe grab another one because you don't want to repeat all those difficult stuff in the beginning of the level on the screen. So there were few occasions in which I just took the detour to get 1 or 2.
Yeah, and you guys both found the button to have the kid pick up the acorns, which was crucial. We were calling that the secret tech because I don't know if it was in the pastebin or not, but
That's
we,
the
we,
it's
we
the
Because it was
secret.
so slow though. Like
The
picking, like
secret
putting
technique.
it up like wasted like a full second and a half.
And you can't even
And
move.
so
So if you aren't standing exactly below it, it just jumped into nothing, and you can't correct it on the way. So yeah, pretty damn bad mechanic.
I got afraid that the boss was gonna be like actually some level of challenge because you could see the level before it just had like 50 acorns for some reason,
Yeah.
mhm.
and I'm like, well, this is the boss room, like boss door room if I've ever seen one. But you guys both went through the boss, and if it had come down to like struggling with understanding a boss mechanic, I don't think it would have been as pleasing as it was because you guys were rushing through this game, and at the end of the day, it was always going to be a close race, but you guys made it so, and we appreciate the entertainment. To note, this was a losers match, which means Dormiens, you're moving on to only tough opponents. I mean, we're deep in the tournament at this point. Is there a sort of genre? We don't know too much about you because I think this is only your second MT. Is there something that you're looking forward to?
It's my
Uh,
third MT, but I'm kind of mediocre at a lot of things. I like platformers, but I'm not great at them. But I'm okay at certain types of puzzles that aren't so fun.
Okay, so just ask nicely for something that's a flavor of something you've seen before,
Correct.
because nothing. I don't know. Like, do you want the wacky game? Do you want something that nobody's ever seen before?
Kind of, but I also I've gotten a lot of like IP or character games, and I like not those.
Yeah, this game is made for kids. Clearly made in a months, not years sort of time frame. So,
Uh-huh.
and not as much love as like the student games that I love seeing. So,
Hmm.
I'm with you in that regard. But most importantly, it was a mediocre game because it didn't have enough squirrels.
This is true.
Anything else you guys want to add here? While ID continues to set up, though.
Yeah, once again, thanks for the commentary and the restream of our match. It was a pleasure playing in the mystery game tournament. I just saw it the first time on the Games Done Quick, like ages ago. I think it was the 10th, right? Before the 10th. So I think I joined the server here like ages ago, but never really intended to play in the mystery game tournament. And I just filled out the form halfway on the website and never registered on challenge. And later on with the ping, hey Tito, what's up right now? You just confirmed your entry, yes or no? So I'm glad I took the chance, and I had a lot of fun in these games, and
Uh-huh.
going to participate next year again. So thanks for
Yeah.
setting all this up.
Yeah, and we do some more casual stuff during the like off times, like where we'll have tournaments with maybe looser rules, or where we have a mystery fun fest thing, which is based off of IEPI's Discord wars, where we just like have a whole bunch of challenges and you get points for your teams, and you play it over 2 or 3 weeks, and there's like a whole website for it and everything. So yeah, stick around if you're interested in stuff like that. 'Cause we do stuff. We play blind games. We like to, at least.
Yeah, totally got hooked up here. So thanks for the opportunity. And Dormiens, best of luck in the tournament. You get to
Much
carry on
thanks.
all those people I have beaten, you have beaten. So give it your best shot.
I will try.
Have a great
Yeah,
one.
You too.
Dorian, you are now the representative of the Teemo star. Teto's big achievement was beating Teemo, and now you beat the guy you beat Teemo, despite the fact that
True.
Teemo's first MT. For some reason, we're giving him that accolade. So,
I mean, I've
best of
technically beat Maurice, so
oh
you
no,
know.
that's not a big
Yeah.
deal. You
You're right.
you'll
No, you
well,
got
best
it.
of luck.
Dormians,
Best of
you're
luck
making it
against Maurice
happen.
in the final.
Yeah.
You got a few more matches before you get there, but it's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you for some good ice aging.
Yep. All right. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.